Hi, I'm Kaylee Bloom. I'm an archaeologist with INDOT and Environmental Services. I visit archaeological sites throughout the state of Indiana and occasionally dig my own holes.
Hi, I'm Melissa Earhart, and I am the materials test geologist, and I go visit quarries throughout Indiana to make sure we build the roads correctly.
Hi, I'm Jelena Adams. I'm a chemist with INDOT and Environmental Services, and I protect birds and bats.
Well, I started out as a real little kid with my grandma doing rocks and identifying rocks as a kid, and slowly from there we identified birds, and my love for nature just made me become a geologist.
So I never really had like a moment or like a big push when I was a kid. I was kind of just always inclined in math and science. But my real push came when I was in high school. My chemistry teacher really took notice and would tell me how good I am at it and like this is what I need to go into after I graduate and that kind of thing. And I kind of just trusted him and wound up where I'm at.
I actually have wanted to be an archaeologist since I was 4 years old. What really got me into it was a particular episode of Reading Rainbow, where LeVar Burton was at a museum in Boston, and he just was going through the ancient Egypt exhibit, and I remember just in that moment falling in love and just thinking, I want to do that someday. I want to work with artifacts and potentially go to Egypt. That was really my driving force into becoming an archaeologist. I would say that I had a lot of people growing up telling me that, oh, you can't become an archaeologist just because they thought it wasn't an actual career or that you can't make money in it, which is totally not true at all. And lo and behold, archaeology schools and programs do exist, and was able to find one, and here I am today. So, yeah.
We really didn't have as many as you think, but I had a science teacher tell me once that, oh, you're not good in science, you'll never amount to do a science project. But yeah, but here I am with a geology degree, and I'm going, hey, look at me, I'm doing everything. I'm doing the chemistry background to a point, and
So I'm from a really small town of 500 people, and where I'm from, you don't go to college, especially for STEM. Like if you go to college, it's to be a teacher. So when I had these ideas of wanting something more than what that place could provide me, it came with a lot of pushback. Like people, oh, she's a nerd, she's weird. And it was kind of like people who went into engineering or STEM or those types of fields, you weren't really taken seriously. It's like, oh, people from here don't do that. So I had to face those types of hurdles, and it also came down to like even just getting into college, my applications weren't looked at with the same regard as people with schools who had more funding or could take different classes and that kind of thing. So it was pretty difficult to get my 4-year degree in chemistry, both from a social and just logistics standpoint of coming from some place that didn't have that money or that history. So in high school, it was definitely my high school chemistry and physics teachers. I think that they saw that spark inside of me when I didn't, because I went through a lot of high school not knowing what I wanted to do. I was kind of lost. And they sort of gave me that push into applying for schools with good chemistry programs. And even after I had graduated, I would come back and visit and ask for help from them because I didn't really have people in my life who knew those types of subjects. So it was definitely my teachers from high school that sort of were in my corner. They were my champions.
I actually kind of came across the opposite in high school. My guidance counselor actually discouraged me from going to college and was trying to push going into trade school. But I I'll have to say that really made me want to go to college even more. And I applied to all the schools by myself on my own. And the one I settled on is where I went for both my undergrad and graduate degrees. So it was more of an independent journey for me.
Well, like I said, my grandma was the one that got me started into the geology part. And when I was in college, when I realized I couldn't get to that far, that I had a professor in geology, he comes up and he goes, "Hey, you're a natural at this. You're good. Get your butt up here. Let's do this." And I sat down with the chair lead and she's like, "Let's do this." And, from there I went on and I talked to my grandma about it and she goes, "Oh, it's about darn time, You've been doing this. You've asked about geology and rocks." And so from there it was just one of those, I knew I was in the right spot.
So for me, at least, INDOT's been an amazing journey for me so far. I actually was the archaeology intern back in summer 2019, and a few years later, I have come back here to fully start my career as an archaeologist, and it's just been the most supporting and amazing journey that I can't even describe with words. But I really do feel like I have a home here, and I have support, and I have amazing coworkers, and I can really grow in my career as an archaeologist here at INDOT.
I think INDOT is a very special place to work because of the representation of women in our field, and just seeing the number of women as my peers, and nothing ever feels intimidating. I feel like I can go and talk to anybody about anything and they're not going to treat me like I'm less than. I feel like INDOT really supports equality amongst everybody, and it really is a great family environment to work in.
Hi, I'm Kaylee. I'm an archaeologist here at INDOT. I've wanted to be an archaeologist ever since I was 4 years old, but I never really had a support system. So if you have someone, like a little girl, who loves science, make sure you support her.
Hi, I'm Melissa, and I am the geologist here at INDOT, and I had a grandma who supported me all the way through my career, and if you have a little girl who's in science and loves science, make sure you encourage her and keep her passionate about it.
Hi, my name is Jelena, and I'm a chemist here at INDOT, and I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up, but I had a really great group of teachers in high school to help guide me in the right direction. So if you're a teacher and you have little girls in your class who are really into science, I encourage you to support their journeys. We need more women in science.